Hey, everybody. All right. Let's see here. Let some more people come in. If you guys want to, while you're waiting for others to get in, if you haven't already done Thursday's assignment from Schoology Calendar, if you want to go ahead and open that up, we're going to go through it together, so you won't have to worry about doing anything tomorrow. If you've already done it and you haven't made 100 on it, you could open and take it again because I think I allowed for 3 submissions. So go ahead and get that open. And if you're in here with us, you know that we're asking you guys to turn your cameras on. So those of you guys that are muted on your video, make sure you get that turned on so I can count you as being here. Let some more people in. I've already seen that several of our class has already done the assignment for Thursday. So some of them might not be coming, and that's fine. I told you guys you could do that. So as long as you're getting it completed, you're going to get credit for 2 days. And kind of have a free day tomorrow as long as you're getting it done today. So that's a good thing. All right, I've got 1 o'clock, so I'm not going to waste any time. If somebody's waiting to get in and you guys see that, if y'all would just let me know in the chat, because I'm going to have the chat pulled up and I'll be seeing that. So if anybody jumps in and I don't let them in, just let me know. Keep me on my toes. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And yep, Mason's already wanting to get in. There we go. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through these problems together. I'm going to ask for your help in the chat. All right. That's fine, Cheryl. As long as you type some messages in the chat from here, to me in the chat from every now and again, that you should be okay. Okay. That way I know you're participating. So if your camera's not working, I've had a couple people that have had that issue. If you're typing stuff in the chat, when I go back and take attendance and I watch the video again, I'm looking for those kind of things. If their camera wasn't on, at least are they typing things in, answering questions, that kind of stuff. So you should be fine. Okay, so let me see here. I want to do share. All right, I'm just going to share my whole screen. That way I don't have to flip back and forth. All right. So y'all should see everything that I see. And I'm going to start with the first problem. So if you have it pulled up, it's the very first problem on our assignment. It's posted on the calendar for Thursday, because what was posted on the calendar for today was a video, just to watch the video. And so we're going to go through this together. And I'm just going to ask you guys to share some stuff in the chat as we go through. And hopefully we'll get through this pretty quick. Okay, so the very first one, I give you a tape diagram. And in the video, I showed you some different strategies to match them up with equations. So A, B, C, or D, which one of the equations matches this tape diagram? So type your answer in the chat and be prepared to defend it. Like I know it's this one because, and you can back it up with some proof. Okay, so which one of those does it match on the side there? Let me pull this up so I can see more people. There we go. All right, so we got some D's, we got some A's so far. All right, I'm gonna let a couple more people respond, and there's a few more coming in late too, so let them get in there. All right, so I'm gonna ask Mason if you would. Mason put D in there. Mason, would you unmute and just tell us why you like D over the other 3?
Ask the D because there's 4 of the X minus 3s.
Yeah, I like that. Keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
That's all I had.
That's it. Okay. Nice, Mason. And you really hit it there. There's 4, and that's the way to think of this. There's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 X minus 3s, not 4 X's and a minus 3. I think I saw some people saying this, right? This is not right, because that has 4 X's and 1 take away 3. This one down here has 4 times. This means times when it's written beside that like that. This means I've got 4 x minus 3s. I got 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. And we talked about that on the other day. This different than that. So for that first one, you should be selecting D on number 1. Okay. Are there any questions about that? Anybody that has a wants me to go into more detail, or maybe have somebody else explain? I think Mason did a good job of knocking that out. And Braden, I like yours in the chat. There are 4 boxes, and each of them have x minus 3 in it. That's good. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I think we're all good there. Let's go to the next problem, number 2. Okay, the next one. So go ahead, and if you've already answered that one, just work along with us. Same tape diagram, but this time we're going to solve it. Okay, we're going to find out what that mystery x number needs to be in order to be 84 long altogether. Okay, and I'm going to go back to what Mason said. I'm going to get you started on this one. Okay, I'm not just going to ask for answers right off the bat. I'm going to get you started. All right. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do in a problem like this, when you've got multiple things repeated all throughout your tape diagram like this, think about taking the entire thing and splitting it up by how many repetitions that you have. Like you get 4 of the x minus 3s, right? And if you remember, the expression that we said matched it was I've got 4x minus 3s, and that equals 84, right? This goes along with this tape diagram. So the way that I think about this, if 4 of those equal 84, well, one of them, just one of them, 1x minus 3, if I just take one of them out, it only is a quarter of 84. So it should equal 84 split into 4 equal pieces. Does everybody see the logic that I'm going from this step to this step? If 4 of them is 84, then one of them should be 84 divided by 4. It's like saying something times 4 equals this. So to make it just whatever that something is, I'm going to divide it by 4, right? And 4 goes into 84 twice and once. So we know that 21 is what x minus 3 would equal. Think of it this way. This is another way to visualize this. If 84 is all of this, then every one of those must be worth 21, because 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21 4 times, all of that would add up to 84. That makes sense? So if that's true, if one of those x minus 3s equals 21, then what must x equal? Type in what x's value should be now. It should be a little easier to see mentally now that I've done the harder part. It's got to equal, Lane popped it in there real quick, 24D, because 24 minus 3 is 21. Nice, Braden. I like the explanation. And then if you multiply it by 4, you even took it another step further. That's great, right? If every one of these was equal to 24, like Braden's saying, right? If every one of those is 24, then it would add up to 84 altogether, because 24 times 4 is that, or I'm sorry, not 24. 24, if all of them are 21, but if all of the x's are 24s, right? And you take 3 from all of those, you get 21 4 times, which we know is 84. So yeah, you definitely want to pick D on that one. Right? So we've already done the first 2, and we're only 7 minutes in. So we're on track to get done in the next probably 10 minutes. All right. So we're doing well. We're doing well. Lane, I like that. Yeah, you add 12 to the 84 and then divide by 4. Yeah. Yeah. Tell us where you're getting the 12 from, though. Unmute yourself, Lane, and tell us how you knew 12 was part of the problem. I like that.
Well, it's x minus 3 every time. So if you just add 3 to the total, then like add 3 times 4 to the
There you
total,
go.
then you find
Yeah, the 3
6.
happened 4 times, right? So that's good. I like that strategy too. And that's kind of what we're going to get into next week. We're going to start looking at, and a lot of you probably already know this, the distributive property. 4 times x, 4 times 3. And that's really another way to represent this. This is having 4 x's and 12 takeaways, right? So what Lane is saying is we could just add 12 to the 84, get 96, and then divide by 4. We'd also get our answer of 24. So lots of different ways to do this. I like it when you guys have different strategies. That's cool. All right, let's move on to the next one. Number 3. So number 3 was A lot of story problems. Okay, we're going to go through this one pretty quick. We're just going to match them. We're really going to focus on the key words and not really, break it down step by step for each one. Okay, you got 3 different tape diagrams over here to the side. All right, and let me get that away so we can see it a little bit better. You got 3 different tape diagrams, and each one of these stories will match one of those 3. Okay, so let me pull the chat back up and let somebody give us a match here for A through A, B, C, D, and E. And we'll call these over here number 1. We'll call this one number 1, number 2, and number 3. Just so way we can communicate with them a little bit better. Okay. So give me a match. A, B, or C, D, A, B, C, D, or E matches 1, 2, or 3. Pick any one of them and just be ready to unmute yourself and tell us, what part of that story made you think that tape diagram. Okay. So I'll let you guys be the leaders here on how fast we get through this. I'm going to pull my chat back up. There we go. So what's a match that you read there, or that you see there? I might have to move this a little bit out. Yeah, there we go. That way I can see what you guys are typing. All right. So give me a match. Read one of those stories and tell me one of the tape diagrams that you feel like it goes with. All right, Morgan's going to jump in here. A goes with number 3. Okay, so A has 7 packs of markers. Each pack has an unknown amount, right? And Lynn gives 9 more markers. So we're saying that one goes with 3. So Morgan, my dog is barking at something, so who knows? I like the match as far as you got the 7 and the 9, right? But they all have 7 and 9 that go with them. The question for me that I have with you is, does the 7 represent something? Hey, dog, shut it. Shut it. Yeah, you. She's looking at me like, what I do? What I do? I don't know what you're barking at me. Stop. We haven't agreed on any of them yet. We haven't agreed on number 2. Yeah, number 2 was 24. Sophie, sorry, we haven't matched any of these stories yet. We've got 7 packs of markers, and each pack has an unknown amount in it. So the 7 should be associated with X, right? There should be 7 things that we don't know. And if you match A with number 3, Morgan, you're matching 7 with a number like that's just we know. So it actually goes with number 2. Nice change. Does that make sense? Like you're looking for how many times that happens. Oh, you're looking for that repetitive thing. So 7 should go with the X's. So number 2 is a match for A. All right. So this one's number 2. I'll write it here. All right. Look down through there. See if you can find another one where there are 7 things that we don't know. Okay. And type that in the chat if you find B, C, D, or E that has 7 unknown things in it. We don't know their links. 7 unknown things. Is it B, C, D, or E? Braden is saying 1 goes with E. Okay, so Braden's jumping into one of the other ones. Hold off there, Cherry. We'll revisit that one here in a second. Can somebody give me another one that number 2, like where should I also put number 2? Number 2 matches with Diego's problem, okay, because there were 7 packs of unknown things. But it should also go, where's another one where we have 7 things that we don't know? B, C, D, or E? I'll wait for you guys to help me get started on this one. So run through those real quick. B, she's cutting off 7 feet. Like, that's 7 feet. It's not 7 happening over and over again. So I'm leaning away from B, right? On C, 7-pound concrete block. Is that 7-pound concrete block happening over and over and over again? No, it's just a 7-pound concrete block. Look at D. Okay. Skating rink charges a group rate of $9 plus a fee to rent each pair of skates. Family rents 7 pairs of skates. 7 pairs of skate that cost a fee for each of them. You see how that's 7 things that we don't know the price of? So that's why that one should match number 2. You're looking for repetitive things that you don't know. right? A and D story have repetitive things that we don't know happening 7 times. Thus, while we're picking something that has 7 X's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? If you look at the other stories, they're going to have things that we don't know that happen 30 or 9 times, right? And Braden stepped up and he said that E matches number 1. And Braden, unmute and tell us why you like that match for that particular problem.
Because he's given 7 pans to the school bake sale, and then he splits the 2 pans he has left over with his class of 30 students.
Nice. So like these 7 are gone out of the 9, like they've given away, right? All of these other little X's over here, there's 30 of them. And if you look at it close enough, you split it right down the middle. This is 1 pan, right? And this is 2 pans. So he's got 2 pans of the 9 left. And he's going to give 15 over here and 15 over here. And that makes a total of 30. Hence why there's 30 X's. Well explained. I love it. So number 1 matches with part E or story E. All right. And all we have to do is match the last 2 stories. And any of them are up for grabs. You can still use 1, 2, or 3. I would say number 2's out because we kind of ruled out the 7 thing happening over and over again, right? Look at B and C and what happens over and over again in those problems. What's the repetition in those problems? Okay, let's look at them. Elena's cutting a 30-foot piece of ribbon. You know, all of these have 30 involved, right? This is a total. She cuts off 7 foot, so 7 of that 30 is gone. And then she has 9 equal lengths that they call X, right? So 3's got to go with B, right? And Braden's also saying 3 goes with C because here's why, guys. 9 identical blocks, right? 9 equal lengths. These are 9 somethings we don't know. So they should have a set of X's of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? So these 2 right here would go with number 3. And this is actually the problem most people are missing. I think it's just because they're not realizing they can use them over and over again, maybe. I don't know. This is kind of a tough thing, matching those stories to those equations. My hint, my recommendation when you get a problem like this is look for the thing that you don't know and does it happen over and over again and how many times? That should give you a hint on how many X's are going to be in your tape diagram. All right. All right, let's move on. I spent enough time on that problem. That one right there is a head scratcher sometimes. Let's look at number 4. And let me pull back the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. And I want, let's see. Somebody type in the chat. If you were to solve this, what would be the first thing that you would do, like from elementary school? Like what did your teacher tell you to do when you were solving? Because I know you've done these before in elementary school. This shouldn't be new. 6th grade, 5th grade, maybe, probably 6th grade though. What's the first thing that your teacher would tell you to do in a problem like this to try to get X by itself and solve for X? Like, what's the first thing that they normally say to do? 23 minus 17, right? They'll say, hey, take the 17 away. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do in our tape diagram. Okay, so watch how I do these. I did these in the video to help you with today. I'm going to take the 17 away, right? Because what that does is that leaves me with 4 X's. And just like Braden put in the chat, if I take 17 away from 23, 23 minus 17 is 6. So that means that this entire length is equal to 6. 4 X's are 6 units long because the 17 is gone now, right? We took it away, and 23 minus 17 left us with this 6. So 4 X's have a length of 6. So if all of them were 1, it would be too short. If all of them were 2, it would be too much, right? So what do we do with 6 and 4 to find out what it is? We got to divide them, right? We got to divide them. So 6 divided by 4, you have to type in your answer here, okay? When you do this, you have to type in your answer. Acceptable answers are, like Braden put in the chat there, 1.5, because 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. I think I also had acceptable if you put in 3 over 2, right? Because that's the same, 3 halves is the same as 1.5. Okay. Either one of those are fine, but we're just reasoning through these. We're trying to find the number that we can put in X's place to make this true, right? And 1.5 is the number that works. 1.5 times 4, that equals 6, and 6 plus 17 is 23. So it all comes back out to work for us. All right. Let's see. Solve the tape diagram below for X. All right. So this one I gave you tape diagram and I gave you the equation, and we just need to find X for this one. Okay. Here's what let's do this way. Let's say that we're taking the number 27, and how many groups are we splitting it into? Everybody type in how many groups in the chat that we're splitting this 27 into. How many groups are there? Equal size groups. Evie says 3. Everybody, there's 3, right? You can clearly see 1, 2, 3 groups. So if we split this up into 3 groups, how much would each group have to be worth for it to add up to 27? Type that in the chat. How much would each group have to be worth for them to add up to 27? Like how much has to be here? How much has to be here? I see a 9. I see a 7, a 7. Well, let's try 7 out. I saw 2 7. Is 7 plus 7 plus 7 equal 27? 9. 9 is the choice. 7 times 3 is 21. We're looking for the number times 3 that equals 27. And that number is 9, right? So every one of these groups is worth 9. So think of it that way. We're taking 27, we're splitting it up into 3 groups, right? And every one of those groups, if 3x minus 2s are 27, then 1x minus 2 is worth 9. So it's a simple division of 23 or 27 and 3, right? And then from there, it's easy to see that the answer is 7. Okay, so I see why you guys are putting in 7 now, because you're thinking that 7 is the answer, right? But 7's not the answer here, because we still have to put in a number that we can take 2 away from and get 9. So you kind of went 2 in the wrong direction, which is a pretty common mistake, right? So we want that X to be 11. Yeah, we want that X to be 11. And no, Megan, you are not dumb. Trust me, there are several people that have trouble with that. But do we see why this is going to be 11 and not 7? Because 11, if we take 2 away from it 3 times, would make 3 sets of 9 that add up to 27. All right. So we're just reasoning through this right now. We're not doing any distributive property and all that fancy stuff that we can do. Yeah, you could subtract there too. That makes sense. You could also say that, 3 times 2 is 6, right? And if you add 6 to 27, that makes 33, which then divided by 3 is also 11. So other ways to get there. There are other ways to get there. All right, let's finish this off. We're on the last page. All right. And number 6 and number 7. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Move up, move up. There we go. Okay. So this last one is the Noah problem. And we have to create a tape diagram, and then we're going to solve it. So I'm going to start you off on this one, because I know we're kind of pushing toward that 30-minute zone, and I don't want to go over 30 minutes. Noah drew an equilateral triangle with sides of length 5 inches. Okay, that should tell you equilateral that every side is equal. Okay, and every side is 5. So 5, 5, and 5. That first sentence gives you that information. He wants to increase the length of each by X. Increase by X, increase by X, and increase by X. So the triangle is still equilateral and has a perimeter of 21. Perimeter means add all the sides. So that's why 21 is the total, right? Everybody see, I'm just taking the story and matching it into a tape diagram, okay? And then when I solve this, if the perimeter is 21 and it's an equilateral triangle, I know that every side should be equal to what length? What times 3 is 21? Well, every side should be equal to 7, right? 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals a total of 21. So if every side has that, then we could solve this x is 2, right? But look, the question is not asking for us to solve it. Some of us get into that mode where we want to do what it's not asking us to do. All we had to do was write one of these equations for that. So which one of the equations down below shows 3 groups of 5 plus x? A, B, C, D, or E? Which one shows 3 groups of 5 plus x's? This one right here is 5 x's and 1 3. So it's not that one, right? I'm seeing D's in the chat. This is 21 x's, which we definitely don't have. This is a pretty common wrong answer, E, because they're using the 5 and the 3 and they're thinking there's groups, but it doesn't have 5 sides. A triangle has 3, right? And there's not 3 x's and 1 5. There's 1, 2, 3 5s and 3 x's. So you guys are right. We should be selecting D on that one. All right. Last one. I think it's the same problem, and I kind of already started answering it, right? What number can we put in the place of x to make that work? And the way that you think about this, if 21 is the total and there's 3 groups that are equal, each group should equal 7. So 5 plus x equals 7. And what x makes that true? 2. There you go, guys. There's your assignment for today. I know it was kind of quick and a bit rushed, but I really didn't want to go over that 30-minute mark. I know y'all have other things to do, and I do as well. And I wanted this to be more helpful than just long and tedious. Okay. So hopefully if you didn't have it finished, you now got it done. Hopefully, if you didn't understand some of the matching and how we reason through this, maybe from the help of some other people's comments that might have helped you. I know it's not as good as being in class. Number 4, Sophie, let me go back and look. So number 5 is there. Number 4 would be, nope. Number 4 would be here. I just got to scroll up. So when we did number 4, Sophie, we took away the 17 from 23, and we found out that the 4 x's were worth 6, and we divided 6 by 4, and it was 1.5. So 1.5 is the solution for that one. Shown work is here, and also we kind of reasoned through it with drawings over here on the left. Yeah, Megan, that's fine. I'm pretty much done. If you guys want to head out, that's okay. I think I've got everybody's face that I needed to see for attendance. So y'all have a good rest of the day. Y'all are good for tomorrow if y'all got this done. Thank you so much for coming. It's good seeing you, Evie, Philip, Mariana, Kyra, Morgan, Mason, Abby, Callie, Cheryl. Y'all have a good rest of the day, okay? And just Friday, be looking out for Friday's quiz. I'll post that probably sometime tomorrow, okay? Yeah, Kelly, that's fine. Thank you for at least typing in the chat so I know you're there and along with us. Yeah, y'all have a good day. See you, Bradley. See you, Kyra. And y'all be safe and stay warm. All right. Yeah, Morgan, for number 4, 3/5 is going to be wrong. For number 4, what you want to put, if you're going to put in as a fraction, you want to put in like this, 3/2. Okay. 3/5 is going to be, because it wasn't out of 5, it was out of 2 parts. 3 cut into 2 parts is 1.5. Okay. And that should get you set on that one. Okay. All right. If y'all don't have anything else, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great rest of the day.